So time once again for my monthly musings for the month of September 2019. Thanks again for tuning in and listening to my mumbles or ramblings or whatever you want to call it for September 2019. So a few things kind of been going on. Been doing lots more videos in the background, trying to get some more in the pipeline. So if I haven't mentioned it before, I always try and make sure, and I think I have ever since I started doing videos now. It must be a couple of years now for Spectrum Geeks. There's always a video released on a Monday at 6 PM UK time, and what I tend to do is, but like now, it's Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:40 PM.
Okay, so I tend to do most of my videos somewhere between 10 PM and 1 AM in the morning. So as I get time, I record multiple videos that I can edit and then kind of get in a pipeline to release. I've been doing a few more videos over the last few weeks to basically keep things going ahead as planned. Obviously I've been riding the bike as well, so the motorcycle Fat Sabbath, which I featured in a previous video if you haven't seen it already. Really cool 125. It looks and sounds much better than any 125 should, in my opinion, but really enjoying that. So I've just gone over 300 miles in that now, so it needs its first kind of running service, which I'm having done next week. But the more and more I ride that bike, the more I'm enjoying kind of the whole biking experience. I was just saying to my wife, I think it was yesterday, that my brain's always thinking about a different project or something at work, or how to try and solve a problem or something. And up until having the bike, and maybe it's because still the bike's a new thing, maybe things have changed, I hope it doesn't, but anything that used to kind of get my brain to kind of turn off and relax and kind of just have some quiet time was when I used to fly my quadcopters, because I don't know, just being up in the air and flying around, I used to really kind of enjoy that. I still do, again, just not having the time for it. And I get something very similar from the motorbike. So obviously I'm getting much more competent at riding the bike, so I'm having to think less about clutch gear and all this sort of stuff, and just kind of enjoying being in the moment and kind of concentrating on whatever's going on around me. I'm really enjoying it, and it's now, you know, starting to get kind of more passionate about what am I going to do next when I do my next testing. So also did my motorcycle theory test as well. I've got a video coming out about that, some of my experiences of how that is as someone who's been driving over 20 years. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the motorbiking stuff, and I'm going to kind of do a few more lessons. I'm really interested in kind of, I guess, being safe, but kind of not just getting a license and riding and then not doing anything. I want to do more training to get more competent at different maneuvers and just basically be a safer, more competent rider. Another thing that I've also done just yesterday is I have now decided to put my Lotus Evora 400 up for sale. So I've done that. I've currently priced it basically at the top rate, so I'm not necessarily expecting it to sell super quickly. It's just I'm just not getting the time to use it. If I do get any free time, I'm going out on the bike for an hour or so. So it just doesn't make financial sense for me right now to have that money just kind of sat in the garage. This is my fourth Lotus. I've really enjoyed kind of the sports car ownership time, but now I'm starting to think more about kind of the future and how can I better utilise that money and invest that money so that, you know, don't have to work until I'm 67. Perhaps I can stop a little bit earlier. So that's the plan for that. So we'll see if and when it sells. Like I said, I'm in a hurry. So kind of mixed emotions when I was pressing that publish to add button, but I think it's the right thing to do. And if the worst case, I can always decide not to sell it, or maybe get something different in the future. The main reason I got my first Evora, just when we had kids, in my head I thought, oh, I won't have to go out very often anymore unless we all go out, so I would need a 4-seater. So the Evora, obviously the Evora 400 as well, is a 2+2, so there's 2 little small seats in the back, which is perfect for kids. But most of the time whenever we go out, it was normally me on my own, or me and my son. My daughter doesn't like the car because she says they're too noisy. My wife has been out in the Evora 400 once in the 3 or 4 years I've had it, so it just doesn't make sense. I could go back to having an Exige S like I had before and just have 2 seats, and that would be perfect in the future, or obviously right now, the bike. So I think it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Other things that's been going on this month. Can't think I've got it somewhere. I've done these videos on this Cricut maker and easy press and stuff, so I've been doing some more kind of crafting stuff with that, making some t-shirts for some of my kids' friends' birthdays, which have gone down really well. I've also bought a sewing machine, so I've got some plans to make some bags and some pouches for some other projects I want to do. So I'm trying to kind of spend a bit more time being creative and doing crafting type stuff. One of the things I realised when I was away the other week in the Czech Republic for work is I think I'm happiest, and I think actually most people are if they kind of think about it, when you have some element of manual labour when you're using your hands and you have something physical and tangible to show for it. So, and that's really what I'm kind of interested about in the future when it comes to that time of not having to work. It's not about not wanting to work, it's not about to do a different kind of work and make things and do things and contribute to society in a slightly different way. So I've still got this idea about maybe set up a maker space or something to have, a community that you can build to have people learning, metalwork and woodcraft and all different stuff, basically using their minds and being creative and doing stuff. I think there's sometimes a bit of a lack of that. Obviously YouTube is helping bring that a lot back, and this kind of thought process has been kind of reinvigorated recently. I started reading Adam Savage's new book, Every Tool's a Hammer, I think it's called. Really enjoyable. I'm a big fan of Adam Savage and the tested videos, so I recommend that book if you're interested. Another thing that I don't watch much TV, but something I recently started watching is a Netflix documentary about Bill Gates. I think it's called In Bill's Brain or something. So again, that's quite interesting. So I work in IT. That's kind of what my background is. So it's obviously interesting to kind of have this documentary and chatting to Bill Gates, the obviously creator of Microsoft, and some of his philanthropy work that he does since he finished kind of doing the Microsoft gig. So I think that's the main things for the month. Other things. Oh, this month was, I'm not sure if I've done any videos on it. I've got a couple of other activities planned. Obviously, the one that I mentioned, I don't like the term bucket list, but kind of stop putting off things that you're going to kind of do in the future and kind of do it now. Just want to get my bus tomorrow. So this week I have a stunt driving course at the end of the week, which Ed, who you've seen on the channel in the past, bought me for my birthday, so go and do that. And then the following week we're off to do a blacksmith day course, which is something I got him for his birthday. So a couple of things, again, using your brain, a bit of adrenaline and kind of making stuff. So I'll talk about that in the next monthly Musings video, how that goes. So continuing to kind of get a bit more refocused into, reminding myself what it is that brings me joy and having a clear out. I went up in my loft and got rid of loads of empty boxes and all sorts of stuff. So a massive trip to the recycling centre to get rid of all of those. So yeah, continuing to try and live for today, but also think more about the future and kind of what I want to get out of life, and be able to spend time with family and friends and be in a situation to kind of do that comfortably But again, not just saving everything and not, spending now, because I don't know if you remember, this whole video series started off being the year of not buying anything, which kind of went to crap. And I have bought more things this year. Some of it has been things that I've literally just bought. Some things I've sold and got money to then, invest that money in something else invest for enjoyment and fun, as opposed to financial investment, which is something else that I'm still doing, and I do plan to do a video on that in the future. I've got a couple of things that I'm kind of working out, and then I will share it on the channel, because I know a few people have been interested in the finance piece. But I think that's really it for the month. Still continue to try and read books, listen to audiobooks. Haven't spent as much time computer gaming for the last month or so. Might actually do some of that in a little bit. So still trying to find some time for gaming, because I enjoy that. And need to finish the build of this printing station that I did basically for my 3D printers. It started off to be a video and it kind of went to crap because cameras ran out and the project was harder, but I want to kind of finish that and do a little kind of wrap up video to show you guys again just something that I built but I felt I needed. But yeah, I think just looking around, I think that's it. Really loving the Oculus Quest still, so not using it as much as I like, but enjoying the games on there. Played the Vader Immortal game, which actually wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but I plan to do a little review on the channel of that. But yeah, that's it. The only, I guess, last thing I mentioned was I've got them down here. I got my CB radios out a while ago, and I think I said a couple of months ago that I was going to do a video on the CB radios. I still will do something on it, but I think it might be a bit of a crappy video because no one around here seems to use CB radios anymore. I live in a bit of a ditch, which is part of the issue, but I've been out in the car. I bought a little Wilson antenna to put on the car and go and test it, but yeah, it just doesn't seem a thing. So part of me thinks I should sell these CB radios because they're not bringing me joy anymore, and I was originally keeping them because both of them are in such good condition. Like the Midland Power Max, I bought that in 1995, I think. I saved up for it for ages, and then I can't remember exactly what happened. I have to try and think about that for the video, but I stopped going on CB radio about 3 months after that. So it's practically new, and it cost me like £150. It took me ages and ages and ages to save up that money. But yeah, so I feel like I can't get rid of it because, I don't know, I wanted to give it to my kid or something, but I don't think that makes sense either. So again, probably get 30 quid for it or something if I sell it online, if I'm lucky. But again, maybe not because no one's using CB radio. But yeah, that's it. Thanks if you're still watching these videos. I don't know if, again, I've got this kind of weird thing in my head that I feel like I should do this video, but at the same time, I don't really think anyone's really interested. Maybe there's better things that I could talk to you about, or maybe we could turn this into a live stream every month, and I could have another go at trying to do that a bit better. Actually, I worked out, obviously, but stupidly at the time, why the live streams were causing problems. Is it turns out my upload speed has got even worse than it was before. So where I was trying to upload at 1080p, and I need like a 8 megabyte up, I think I've only got like 4 or 5 now. It's ridiculous. So that's part of the problem. So now I've managed to work, and realise that I can obviously tweak the upload speed to make hopefully the stream a little bit better, but obviously a lower quality, but more reliable and less interruptions. So I definitely still want to try have another shot at the live streaming. But yeah, maybe if there's things that you'd like me to kind of share on these monthly videos, but I think that's it. I need to do a better job of making notes about what's going on, but the main things are, trying to do more things that I want to do and stop putting them off. Really enjoying the bike stuff, put the car up for sale, really enjoying the crafting thing. Got a plan to make some bags with this sewing machine. I mean, I haven't used a sewing machine for years. I did some stuff years and years ago borrowing someone else's, so this is really kind of like my reintroduction to sewing, so I might do a video on that if you're interested. It's a black sewing machine, so it's very manly. But yeah, that's it. My things I need to do. Need to finish this other hypnotherapy training that must be over a year that I'm still doing that. I'm kind of overdue finishing it. I'm not sure I'm going to get fined actually for that. And then I still need to spend more time doing my mentalism and other things, just struggling to find time in the day. But yeah, that's it. Monthly musings, mumblings, talking BS and other stuff. But that's it. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.